What's going on, guys? Car Review Guys here. My name is AJ and we are back with a 2023 Genesis G90, and this is the ESC highest trim level on this one, coming in at right around 100,000. This is going to be the full review. The next video is going to be 5 things to love, 5 things to improve. Yeah, I'm spending a while on the improvement list because it's really nitpicky, because this thing, it's got it all. I'm not gonna lie to you. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. We're gonna start with the exterior, work our way to the interior, and then we'll take it on a drive. For those of you that aren't new, you already know the drill. Starting right up front on the exterior, we do have full LED headlamps. Genesis claims these are the thinnest headlamps out of any production vehicle, to my understanding, and they do look thin. I mean, they look really cool, they're clean, they're crisp, they're bright at night, I can tell you that. You have the signature Genesis logo up front. Underneath the hood, you are looking at a 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo. This is a mild hybrid because it has the supercharger. You're pushing around 409 horsepower, and it does 0 to 60 right at 5 seconds flat. Now, I haven't seen anything official from Genesis. However, I've done my own testing, talking to a few other people that have driven these. They all agree it is pretty much right around 5 seconds. You can sometimes get like a 4.9, but anyway, 5 seconds is what you're looking at, and it's really good for this segment. I'm impressed. Working our way around, you can tell the upgraded model because it has 21-inch wheels, and the base model, I believe, is 20-inch. So that is one thing that you can tell right off the difference, or right off the bat, the difference, rather. Bigger wheels. And you have like these bronze looking calipers. I don't know if you can see it really well in there or not. I apologize, the lighting, I mean, it's super bright, so it kills everything behind it. But trust me, they're like a bronze color. Coming over to the door handles, they are flush mounted. Whenever you approach the vehicle, they will pop out, as you can see there, all for keyless entry. This car, you can also, I don't have access to it right now personally, just because this is a press car, but you can actually use your phone as a key. In my understanding, you can even send a text as a key to a friend, like if you need to let them borrow it and you're out of town, or whatever the case is. That way they have access to drive your vehicle. This also, I will note very quickly, has self-closing doors. So if I open it up right here, there are many buttons, we'll go through it all, but I have to touch on it very quickly because it's so neat. You just press the button, there she goes. That easy. Obviously it's beeping because I have the car running right now because it's Arizona and it's getting hot and we got to keep the AC rolling. Nonetheless, coming back, you do have a driver fuel door. You're at a 19.3 gallon tank, 17 city, 24 highway combined, roughly around 20 miles per gallon. Pretty impressive because this car does come in at around 4,800 to 4,900 pounds curb weight. And it is all-wheel drive, which you're gonna see right there with the badge. Again, out back, this looks pretty clean. I love the look of it. The LED strip across, actually 2 of them technically. You have dual exhaust, which looks good, and you have a button that is sleek, small, quiet, which is good. You don't want anything bulky and in the way. Power trunk. You can look in here, decent amount of space. There's certainly enough room for golf clubs, which to me is pretty important. You can fit really 2 bags straight across, no issue. To close the trunk, you just press the button right there. And down she goes. And last but not least, this vehicle comes in at right around 17 feet 3 inches long for the total length. So it's not short, but it's not crazy long either. I think it's a pretty good size for this segment. For those of you that aren't new to the channel, we got to test, is it easy to get in or not? This vehicle does have about 5.6 inches of ground clearance, so pretty normal for a sedan in my opinion. Coming in, the doors do go like nice and wide right off the get. Like, I'll step back so that you guys can see a little bit better, but I mean, they are really wide. Like, they come out super far. So if you struggle getting in and out, that may be useful. So that way the door is completely out of your way. Coming in, let's see here, stepping, coming down. That was my hat hitting the bill. That was my fault. Nice and smooth. Yeah, no issue getting in the back. If you didn't have your hat on backwards like a moron like me, you wouldn't need a duck. So long story short, good to go there. Now that we're in, it is reclined a little bit, and you've got multiple options. You can come over to the door. There is the button right there to press it shut. Or right here on the center stack, you're gonna see this button right here. You just simply press it, and there she comes. Like, I'll be honest. Let's just have a real talk here for just a second while we're in this very comfortable back seat. I thought that was the gimmick, whatever. You guys get the point. I thought it was a gimmick. Like, how lazy do you need to be to need a button to shut your door, right? That was me. Some of you are going to be typing away down there. I love it. It's such a great feature. Especially on this, because as I just mentioned, the door goes out super wide, which is useful. And instead of having to reach all the way out there, because if you're older, it's harder to reach, you just press a button and it comes shut for you. In order to pop it open, it basically opens like, I don't know, 1 to 3 inches or something like that, and then you just push it the rest of the way. So like if I press this button right now on the door, that's how far it opens. So like I said, about 2 to 3 inches, and then you just push it the rest of the way. Very easy to push. And the reason for that is because if it was just an automatic opening, I mean, you'd have to have other sensors, and I mean, I'm sure they could do it, but long story short, it's made to where you don't hit something, whatever that is, person, car, whatever. If you just press the button, it'd be flying open and you may hit a car. So that, to my understanding, is the reason it's designed that way. Now, continuing on in the back seat, this vehicle is gorgeous. It has the optional white leather interior. There are 3 options: brown, black, and white. Personally, I would pick the white. Now, many of you are going to go, yeah, there's no chance it would get dirty. I understand. Hey, that's why there's options to choose from. Right here behind us, you're going to notice you can go a little pass through straight into the trunk. It just looks dark, obviously, right now. That would be really cool to have like optional, like little like refrigerator, not like an actual refrigerator, but just like a vent from the AC that comes in. Kia Hyundai actually does it on some of the other vehicles for the glove box, and it keeps like waters and stuff cold. So I think that'd be a pretty good idea to have a little one right there just to hold like 2 bottles of water. That'd be pretty cool. Coming back down to the center stack, if we touch it, swipe the screen, and you've got everything you could ever want right here. You have all your temperature controls, you have your massage settings, which you can also go over here for your massage settings, which is right here. You just press it. You have 3 different levels, different intensities. You do have lighting down there, you can see, for at night. It looks gorgeous. You have 2 memory sets even in the rear. You've got this wood that almost looks like a forged carbon fiber. You can see a little bit better right here, but it is genuine wood from my understanding. It's beautiful. You have nice soft Alcantara everywhere. Looks great. You have your own sunroof back here, which looks good as well. And you can see right here, I've got my massage going. You'll see it. You have different intensities. You have 4 different options to choose from. Your shade is right here. You can change any of the shades. Makes it, you know, pretty dark in here actually. Like back here, like there's plenty of light, but it's super bright outside. So that's certainly nice. So like if we press this, let's see, slide it down to open, you're gonna see it opening right here. The sunroof is tinted, which is also, in my opinion, nice. Now, I've seen on the forum some people are whining about it because they're like, if I want it to be dark, I'd leave it shut. I don't know what to tell you. I think that's great because I had a Corvette with the roof like that. It's tinted a little bit, but here in Arizona, it cooks my white forehead to death. So, just saying, love that this is tinted. All right, so we want to shut it. Let's go ahead and close it. You've got your window blinds, which you can mess with here, open, close, and the rear, because there is a rear one back here behind my head, which will go down automatically whenever you are in reverse. Straight in front of us, you can press right here. If you need a little mirror, you know, you can check yourself out, whatever, has a light, you're good to go. You got the Bang & Olufsen sound system. It sounds incredible. This does have surround sound option. You have Symphony Hall, and there's like a third one. I can't remember what it is, like normal or something off the top of my head. I think it's called Home, maybe? I'll check whenever I get up there, I'll let you know. The other thing is to change all of your seat functions right here. You can change everything you want. You can recline it, headrest, I mean, you name it, all the adjustments. You have cup holders that just pop out up here. You can just press them in like that. Press in on this. You've got a couple little chargers right down here, USB-C and the normal car plug. The passenger side, you can actually recline this all the way. This seat will push all the way forward. If you're under 6 feet, you can fully recline. You can even see where the seat, it pops up. But if you're over 6 feet, your feet are probably gonna be touching that seat, because there's about 38 inches of legroom is my understanding, so keep that in mind. But I'm telling you, you can't get, honestly, for $100,000 pretty much on the dot, I don't think you're beating this. Oh, so nice, so comfortable. Let's move to the front seat. All right, stepping into the front seat. Let's see here, coming in. For me, very natural, no issues getting in at all. And of course, let's, you know, shut our door. Right here, you just simply press the button if you would like to shut it, or you simply put your foot on the brake and it shuts. I mean, how cool is that? You know, I'm just saying, how cool is that? Over to our left, it is very similar to the rear, except you have 3 memory functions instead of 2. You can also control your passenger seat. If you just press that, you can use everything on the side right here to actually move your passenger seat, which is nice because then you don't have to reach across if no one's there and you need it out of the way. Whatever the case is, pretty nifty actually. You have your massage setting there, which I have found myself every single time I'm in this vehicle. First thing I do is that. Second thing I do is over here in the middle, and I go to my cooled ventilated seat here in Arizona, which is great to have. Again, also in the rear, heated and cooled seats, and in the front. Now, while we're here in the middle, this is very beautifully done. All of these little cuts inside look great, especially when the light hits. Looks super nice. Nice texture on the outside, nothing wiggles, nothing's loose, nice tight fit finish, which is good. You have your drive modes, which there are 4 drive modes, which are going to show you up here on the 2 12.3-inch displays. So if we press it, you have Sport, Eco, and Comfort, and if you hold it, you can actually go into the 4th, which is Smart mode, which is like, you know, customizable for however you like to drive. Over on the left, you have your auto stop start. You can press that. With the air suspension, you can raise the vehicle up for ground clearance if you need to, traction control, and of course your electronic parking brake. Again, continued up here is like the forged carbon fiber wood. I mean, I don't know how they do that. That is so gorgeous. Like, oh, I wish more vehicles had it. It's so beautiful. Leather soft touch, leather soft touch, leather soft touch, ambient lighting down here in this crack all the way around, and at night it looks beautiful. I might do a night drive, or at least I'll do a short for you guys so you guys can see it. So be sure to subscribe if you're wanting to see the night view of this vehicle. Looking at the steering wheel, you have all of your cruise control functions right here. You have your lane centering, adaptive cruise control, set, plus minus. You have menu options for up in front of you. Of course here, everything else to do with your infotainment, including your voice commands. You have some decent paddle shifters back here, which fit all 4 fingers. They're not massive, but they're certainly big enough for this class of vehicle. Looking up at the stocks are nice. I love like the silver ends. My only like, I guess, nitpick, and again, I am nitpicking, is the stocks look very basic, cheap, and plasticky up until the ends, which look gorgeous and beautiful. I wish they would have continued this on the whole stock. But again, that's like nitpicking beyond belief. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous interior. Out in front, you do have a heads-up display. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. I guess you can see it just a little bit right there. Works well. You have the speakers that pop up upon startup, which again helps with the surround sound. It sounds amazing. The steering wheel design overall does look a little strange, I guess, but I love it because again, when I can grab the bottom of a steering wheel, I am so happy. I'm so happy. More cars need to do this. Like, honestly, they need to do this. Now, working on over, you do have your, again, 12.3-inch display. You can slide over. Very user-friendly. I love how easy it is to use. And it's responsive as well. So, like, we just click the map. There it goes. As we go down here, we can press this to check this out. You can actually swipe around, see all the way around the car. The cameras are incredible on this car. Cannot say enough good things about the cameras. They did an amazing job on those. Of course, this is camera through camera, so I apologize. It's probably not as good as what it actually is in real life. Coming down, I love having buttons. Still having buttons is so nice that they didn't get rid of all of them. Huge fan of having both. You can change everything you want through anything. You can go through the touchscreen, you can hit buttons, multiple ways to do it. I love that. You will notice right here your fragrance. You can change how strong you want the fragrance in here, which is, I love having the fragrance. Dual zone up front, and coming down you have two cup holders, which you can hide if you would like. Again, more buttons for radio control, volume. I love these scroll wheels. It makes it so nice. You can just scroll it up and down. It's fast, easy, good to go. Again, with the touchscreen, I can use this little toggle instead of reaching all the way up there, so it's not distracting. I can go all the way around the car, just spinning it. If I hit the home button, which I can also do from the thing as well, you can spin, select, do whatever from the toggle wheel, which is great. You have a wireless phone charger right here. In order to get the center console open, there is a button just right down there. Hopefully you can see it. You just simply press it, pops up in the middle. You got various chargers back here. Very easy to use, easy to shut, all very soft touch, which is good. Look at the seats though. The seats are so beautifully done. The stitching is nice, fit, finish, everything in this vehicle is beautiful. Now, you're gonna see in one of my next videos, I love this white interior. Like, this is what I would pick. This is 100% what I would pick. It's beautiful. The only thing is I don't know about white carpet. I don't know about that one. As nice as it looks, you'd have to have like WeatherTech floor mats that go all the way up the sidewalls and everything to even have a chance of that staying looking nice. Unless, I guess, you want to get your vehicle detailed all the time. Maybe. But that's it. Other than that, like, everything in here is so beautifully done. I mean, honestly, especially for $100,000. Now, I know that's a lot of money. I understand that is a lot of money, but you got to look at its competitors, okay? 100,000. I mean, it's beautiful. It is so nice, especially when you drive it. With that said, we need to get this thing on the road, and before we do, I gotta roll the cinematic for you guys in 3, 2, 1. as we get this 2023 Genesis G90 out onto the road, got to tell you my first impression. My first impression is quiet and smooth and relaxing. That's if I had to pick 3 words, those are my 3 for my first impression driving this vehicle. I mean, I'm pretty shocked. I mean, I think there's a lot of people, and I'm just going to say this because I have personally know many of people that have said, well, at the end of the day, it's still a Hyundai or a Kia. It's still the same group. Okay, I want to set one thing very straight. The price tag on this vehicle is more than justified, especially after driving it. More than justified. Matter of fact, I think this is a bargain for how much you're getting and how good this vehicle is. Furthermore, for those of you that say that, please go drive a Hyundai or Kia that's like 2018 or newer. Please, just please go do it and stop typing away, saying all of that nonsense. That drives me nuts because it just couldn't be more false. So, with that said, this vehicle is so smooth and so quiet. So with that, you've got acoustic glass. The acoustic glass is great. All of the seals on the doors are obviously really good as well because it's so quiet. Like, you guys might hear the AC right now, but I would be willing to bet you don't hear anything else, even through the camera, because I don't hear anything else. The other day I had a semi go by me, and the only reason I knew that it was coming was because I was checking my mirrors constantly. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have known. Like, usually, like, you can hear them, and you can't in this, and that is so nice. So nice to have. Furthermore, with comfort and quietness comes these massaging seats and the plush leather. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's made for Goldilocks. It's not too soft. It's not too firm. It's great. And having a massage while you're driving, especially on a road trip, super useful. Love having the massage seats. Huge fan of that. Not gonna lie to you, the next daily driver for my wife and I will most likely have massaging seats because this car's got me suckered into it. I've driven a few others with massaging seats. This is up there with the best of them as well. It has nice little balls that dig into your back. You can change the intensity if you don't want it that hard. You've got the cushion portion, which literally like lifts one butt cheek after the other. Like, the thing is really good. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's really good. Also, you've got your heated and cooled seats, which are very comfortable for a road trip. You've got your heads-up display. I have my lane centering, which I just simply click it, turn it on, and it stays dead center of the lane. You guys know I brag about Hyundai, Kia, Genesis, the whole brand as a whole. Their lane centering is by far up there with the best. It is that good. I'm not just making that up. You can go drive one for yourself, especially if you have experience driving others. You will definitely agree with me there. Checking blind spots on this. You have blind spot monitoring, obviously, if you have any issues. The pillar is actually pretty far forward in this vehicle, so you can see really well, because when I check over my shoulder, I'm looking straight into the rear window, so there's really not a blind spot. It's nice to have. If you don't have a passenger, you can even move the seat forward over to my right, and it's not in the way at all. Even with how it is now, which is pretty much all the way back, I can see clearly out of all of the windows to check my blind spots, so no issue with blind spots. The drive modes, do they change anything? Yes, they most certainly change stuff. Suspension, throttle response, it certainly makes a difference. Eco, as stated, MPG wise, you're gonna get, 17 city, 24 highway. That is true. Highway, I've actually gotten about 24.4, somewhere in there. It's been about 75, 80 degrees the last couple days driving this thing, and that's the gas mileage I've gotten. I'm in Casa Grande, Arizona, like 1400 elevation. Because everyone loves to say, oh, that's not the gas mileage I'm getting. Well, okay, there's a ton of factors that go into that. Also, we can only get 91 octane around here. You're supposed to put 93 in it. So again, that's going to hurt your gas mileage. It's made for 93 really, but all we can get is 91, so you're not going to see the same fuel economy. Please keep that in mind. The other thing for blind spot that I did forget to mention very quickly, as soon as you hit your turn signal, the cameras will come on for the mirrors, and it shows down behind you, so that way you don't have any issues. You can see straight in front of you on the 12.3 inch display. Is there anything in your blind spot? So this thing is all set there. Checking the rear view mirror, it is super clean and nice. You have your home link on it, but it is not digital, which does surprise me for this. That's one of the few things that does surprise me, because like in many cases, like you may be owning this car and you may have a driver. I mean, that's the truth. And you may not always want your driver to be like looking at you or into your business, I guess. I don't know, I'm not that guy. I'm very personable, but I know there's many people out there that are like that. So to have the digital rear view, then you wouldn't have to worry about them like looking at you. They'd just be seeing directly out the back of the vehicle. So I think that would be a good option coming up maybe on future models. I think some potential future owners would really like that. The 8-speed transmission in this, I've already said, this vehicle is smooth. I don't not only mean the suspension is smooth, the transmission is also smooth. The only time it's not is really if you are in sport mode. If you're in sport mode, I will say the shifting is more aggressive. It's not terrible, but it's more aggressive, which I kind of personally enjoy, because you know, you're trying to get after it, you're trying to go, you're in all-wheel drive, it sticks, which is good. Great vehicle for all weather, having that all-wheel drive system. The other thing is with the turning, there is rear wheel steering in this car. I don't know what degree. It's not quite as much as others. Like I believe Mercedes is like 10 degrees or something. I would venture to say this is about half. I would say it's about 5 degrees, maybe somewhere in there. And it's fine. I mean, you have, I believe, just under 19 feet turning radius, which for a car that's 17 feet 3 inches long and all-wheel drive, that's certainly acceptable to me, because I've driven some other all-wheel drive vehicles and it's like, holy smokes, this thing turns like it's a 25-foot truck. This does not. It turns very well. My last point, I've got to talk about it again just because it's so good. It's quiet. It's smooth, it's quiet. It's smooth, it's quiet. I can't get over it. Like the acoustic glass in this thing is, I mean, really good. This thing is smooth and it's quiet for the last time. It's the last time I'm gonna say it. So if there's anything I'm missing on this, or something you guys want to see, anything you want to know, if I didn't answer it, just comment down below. I try to get back to every single person, and I appreciate you guys watching. If you did like it, smash that like button, and if you enjoy how I do vehicles, be sure to subscribe, because we have a new one just about every week, and if not, we mess around with my personal 2017 Acura NSX. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.